Welcome back for this 2013 Premier Cup match. We have the SoCal Vaqueros versus the BORP Bay Crushers. On the floor for Southern California, number 44, Kyle Colton. Number 24, Steve Everett. Number 28, in goal, Taylor Kawada. As well as number 10, Kyle Ornelas for the BORP Bay Crushers. On the floor, number 21 in goal, number 13 in goal, Lateef McLeod. Number 21, Kendra Scalia. Also, number 91, John Madigan, and number 99, Brandon Johnson. Kyle Colton right there with a shot. That one's blocked off by Scalia. Now down the floor the other way, Kendra Scalia, Team USA member, down the floor behind Everett. Scalia down the floor. Can she catch the ball before it goes out of bounds? Yes, she does. Everett, Scalia, fighting for the ball. Johnson with a shot down across the box. Kawada knocks it out of the way, but Johnson recovers the ball. Kawada, Johnson, out of bounds. SoCal ball. Ornelas now. Scalia with the ball, sends it out of bounds. SoCal ball once again. This is the first consolation match for the tournament. Two California teams taking the court. That one bounces around and out of bounds. Goal kick, SoCal. Southern California Vaqueros from Glendale, California, had a 13-2-2 record on the season. BORP Bay Crushers from Berkeley, California, with a 7-3-4 record. Both teams traveling a great distance to be out here and take part in this competition this weekend. Johnson now down the floor. Steve Everett on defense. Johnson trying to swing the ball out. Everett trying to deny. Johnson swings it back. Scalia right there. Kawada right there to block her shot, however. Kawada, Scalia fighting for the ball. Scalia trying to get there, but she can't. Johnson with the ball back. Scalia thought about a 180, decided not to. John Madigan with the ball now, trying to save it from going out of bounds, can't do it. It's another goal kick for the Southern California Vaqueros. Our final match on day 2 of the 2013 Premier and Founders Cup, here live from Hopkins High School and the Lindbergh Center here in Minnetonka, Minnesota. Weather's been a little overcast outside today. Huge thunderstorm rolled through the area last night, but fortunately for us, we play indoors, so weather is not a factor. Scalia, Colton, Brandon Johnson with the ball now, passes it back the other way. A lot of room up, and there's a shot right there, a 180 spin kick from Steve Everett. It goes harmlessly out of bounds, but pushes the BORP Bay Earthquakes, further back. Scalia now with the ball. Everett playing defense. They're trying to force each other's will upon the other. Let's see who wins this battle. Scalia sends the ball out. Madigan brings the ball down the floor. Everett's right there on defense. We got a 2-on-1 on SoCal. You'll see that quite often from them, actually. They get a lot of 2-on-1 violations. And once again, for those of you joining us unfamiliar with the 2-on-1 rule, it says two players from the same team cannot be within 3 meters or roughly 10 feet of the ball. Kyle Colton here pulling the arm out of his chair, so referee Doug Wolf helping him get it adjusted. Kyle Ornelas over there taking the corner kick before the referee's whistle, so they're going to set this one up again. Ornelas now looking to get the ball out. Madigan misses the ball. Scalia's right there, however. Johnson, almost got to that ball, but Taylor Kawada nicely done picking that one out of there. Kawada comes up out of the box, and that's going to be a 2-on-1. The goalkeeper came out of the box and is now no longer under protection from the 2-on-1 rule. When he's in the box, he's allowed to have a teammate in there with him to defend the ball. However, once he comes out, he's no longer under protection of that rule. So 2-on-1, Johnson with a shot. Madigan late on the pass. Ball rolls harmlessly out of bounds. The Vaqueros going to go for a goal kick, but we're going to get our first substitution of the match. Coming out for SoCal, looks like number 44, Kyle Colton, coming in. Bill Ballas, number 88. Bill Ballas, a heavy hitter with that chair of his. Gets a lot of power. It also doesn't hurt that he's 6'4". Ballas now is going to wind up for the shot. Let's see if he decides to try to power it down the floor. Yes, he is. Ladies and gentlemen, watch out at home. And that one goes almost out of bounds, but Ornelas saves it. But Scalia's right there to bring it back down the other way. And there's Johnson. Can he get it behind Kawada? No, he can't. Ballas is right there to play defense, but it's going to roll out of bounds for a goal kick for Southern California. Everett now going to take the goal kick to restart play here. Madigan on defense. Gets past him. Ornelas with the ball. Scalia sends it down the other way. Ricochets off Madigan. Goes out of bounds. Southern California trying to move the ball down the floor. Ornelas now going to send the ball in. Referee calls for time. Madigan within 5 meters of the ball. On a set play, you have to be 5 meters or more away from the ball if you're playing defense. Everett now. Ballas screens. Ornelas around the side. Scalia is right there on him. Scalia driving backwards, trying to turn him around the other way. Can't quite get there. Ornelas forcing his way down the floor. Scalia trying to hold on desperately. Ornelas tips the ball, and that one's going to roll towards the goal line for BORP Bay Earthquakes goal kick. Kendra Scalia, Team USA member, winners of the 2011 FITFul World Cup. That ball ricochets around right there, out of bounds, off Scalia. Southern California now threatening. Team USA winning the first 2 FITFul World Cups. Once in 2007, once again in Paris 2011. Bill Ballas now winding up, looking to take the shot. And there goes the ball way across the court. Scalia nicely done to chip that one out of there. Now Johnson on the ball. Kawada, who's going to win this battle here? Johnson tips the ball down the floor. Can he save it before he goes out of bounds? Referee says no. Goal kick, Southern California. Everett going to take the ball in. Ballas moving up into position. It goes to Ornelas. Ornelas, Johnson on the sideline, trying to get the ball out to their teammates. Ornelas is trying to force his way through. Oh, and there's Johnson. The ball's still in. Ornelas just gave up on the ball. Johnson was able to pass it out. And there's a shot. Kawada's right there, however. Johnson swings it back in. Ballas chops it out of there. And now Ornelas is going the other way on a breakaway. He's got one-on-one with the goalkeeper, Lateef McLeod. Can he win? Oh, McLeod very nicely done right there. Very dangerous play. Ornelas charging down the floor in a one-on-one situation. That ball's going to go out of bounds off Ornelas. Goal kick, BORP. Very, very dangerous, but nicely done by the keeper, Lateef McLeod, to stop that attack. Lateef McLeod trying to get his team to step up a little bit. and get some points on the board. Ornelas now. Oh, there's a deflection. That's going into the goal. Oh, my goodness. A deflection popped out. Ornelas was right there and just pushed it into the goal. 1-0 Southern California. A very unfortunate bounce for the BORP Bay Earthquakes. Kyle Ornelas right there to take advantage of it. Pushed it into the far post. And now they find themselves up 1-0 on their California counterpart, the BORP Bay Earthquakes. That kick in going out of bounds. That one a little too shallow. Kind of went behind Madigan there. And now we wait for the ball to come back. Very good awareness by Kyle Ornelas there. Putting their team on the board first. Ballas now setting up, hitting to Everett. Everett defending against Scalia. That ball bounces around a little bit. Ornelas right there to take her on, keeping the ball in the offensive area. And we're going to get a 2-on-1 call. Everett, Ornelas a little too close together. This one's going the other way. Everett chops the ball down, but Scalia just deflects it down the other way, and that one's going to roll wide out of bounds. That one never threatening Kawada over here. Goal kick, Southern California. As I mentioned earlier, Kendra Scalia is a member of Team USA who won the Power Soccer World Cup in Paris back in 2011. And interestingly enough, the BORP head coach, Chris Finn, was the U.S. national coach for that team, as well as the one in 2007. Now down the other way, the goal scorer, Kyle Ornelas, trying to bring the ball back down the floor, and he beats Scalia around the corner, and now they race down the sidelines. Scalia, Ornelas, oh, very smart play by Scalia right there to bounce it off Ornelas' guard. That's going to be a goal kick. BORP, we're going to send the ball back the other way again. Scalia, Johnson lets it go by. Everett taps it out of bounds. BORP marches forward, trying to get the equalizer. Just under 8 minutes left here in the first half. SoCal Vaqueros up 1-0. Johnson inbounds the ball. Scalia misses. Everett chips down the other way. No one there to get it. That one's going to roll out of bounds. BORP ball as they get pushed back just a little bit. Johnson now inbounds Scalia. Ballas right there. She splits the defense. Everett coming up the pass. Johnson right there. That's going to be a 2-on-1. Everett and Ballas too close together. Communication very key when trying to avoid 2-on-1s with your teammates. Sometimes you don't know where each other are on the court. 2-on-1s will happen. And there's another one. This one going the other way, however, against BORP. Very important for players to talk to each other out there and signal where they are on the floor so that way you don't cause a 2-on-1 and kill off any offensive momentum you may have. And that ball going to roll harmlessly down the line, out of bounds. That's a goal kick for the BORP Bay Earthquakes. 6 minutes left here in the first half. SoCal up 1-0. Thank you all for joining us online, powersoccershop.com. Oh, there's a deflection. It's going to roll harmlessly out of bounds. That could have been dangerous. Deflections a lot of times will cause trouble for the goalkeeper because they're not ready for it. And you will see goals scored that way. Referee signaling for the Vaqueros to back up outside of 5 meters. Scalia now down the floor, trying to split the SoCal defense. That one out of bounds. Off Scalia. Ballas now looking to blast the ball down the floor. Maybe looking to split the defense. Let's see what he does here. And he certainly does, but that one's right into Brandon Johnson, but it bounces off Everett's chair out of bounds. BORP ball. Looks like he may have mishit that. There was a gap between Madigan and Johnson. He didn't quite hit it. Johnson now inbounds. Referee calls timeout. There's a stop and play. It appears that the post on the BORP sideline is off the line, so the referee decided to stop play for a moment, get everything properly set. You never know when the ball is going to ricochet and deflect back down the other way. You want to make sure that the posts are at the proper width. Johnson, Scalia, Ballas right there on defense, misses the ball. Everett's right there on her though. Scalia and Everett battling down the floor, fighting for position. Oh, and Everett driving really, really hard. It's a very dangerous play. Potentially rolling the chair. Very, very dangerous. Now, a lot of these chairs have steel plates between the front and back wheel to help prevent chairs from rolling. However, it looks like Everett's chair has spacers to widen out the wheelbase on his chair and give him a little bit more power on his spin kicks. And so the plates kind of don't offer any more protection. If you drive too hard, the wheels will roll up on the ball and the player could flip over. So it's very, very dangerous. Players out there have to be very careful when they're driving the ball. Johnson now. Inbound. Scalia trying to split the SoCal defense. Everett, though, having other ideas, passes it back to Ballas. He passes it back to Everett, and there's Johnson right there to cut it off. We're going to get a 2-on-1. It really could have gone either way. The referee says it's on BORP. Southern California down the other way. Ballas now. Johnson on Ballas. Sends it down. Charging towards the goal. Everett touches the ball. Johnson smartly lets it go out of bounds. BORP ball trying to equalize. Under 3 minutes left here in this first half. 1-0. SoCal Vaqueros over the BORP Bay Earthquakes. Johnson swinging, striking. There it goes. Madigan sends it back across the post. Scalia now sends it back. Kawada cuts it off, sends it out of the box. Kawada now out of the box. Be careful with the 2-on-1. Very nicely done by Kawada. Ornelas now driving down the floor, trying to beat Scalia to the ball. Can he get there? Yes, he does. Can he save it in bounds? Yes. Ballas, though, very close to another 2-on-1. He drives it all the way around to Scalia. Scalia now trying to defend here. Ornelas, the ball springs out. We're going to get a foul. It's going the other way. Ornelas hitting Scalia a little too hard there. The referee calls it a contact foul. BORP going to kill off that attack. Try to get the ball out of their zone and relieve a little pressure from their defense. Scalia chips it away, a give and go play right there. Brandon Johnson sends it back into Scalia. Scalia splits the defense. Down the floor they go. Everett, can he save it? No, he can't. He should have just let that one go out of bounds. It would have been a goal kick for SoCal. However, he elected to try to save it. And now it's BORP threatening here with about a minute and a half left in this first half. Johnson swinging along. Madigan sends it wide. Oh, Johnson right there to stop it before it goes out of bounds. Very well done. Scalia shoots. Everett right there to block the play. Everett sends it over to Madigan. Oh my goodness, that was a mistake right there. Madigan was right there to hit that ball. Went out on Everett. Corner kick, BORP, as we approach the final minute of the first half. I suspect there won't be much added time here as there haven't been too many stops in play. Johnson now. Oh, almost got it through. Oh, right there. Kawada left a little gap. Oh, and Scalia tried to push her way through. Referee's going to call a foul on that. You cannot push the back wheels of the chair. She got a little excited right there because she saw just a small sliver of daylight. Kawada making a huge mistake there, leaving some room between his chair and the goalpost. It almost cost him dearly before the end of the half. So this ball is going to go the other way because of the contact foul on Scalia as she pushed a little too hard on the back wheels. A lot of times it's very hard for players to control themselves and maintain composure when they see an opening on a defense. And that's what happened right there. Ballas now going to try to send the ball down the other way, hoping the referee will blow the whistle and the half. Oh, and it splits the defense, and there's Ornelas. That ball springs around, and there's Ornelas on a breakaway once again. Is Scalia going to get there? And the referee, Doug Wolf, is going to blow the whistle. We are now at halftime. BORP Bay Earthquakes down 1 goal off a Kyle Ornelas deflection. We will be back in just a few moments with the second half, live from Hopkins High School and the Lindbergh Center. I'm Tony Jackson. Please come back. Welcome back for the second half of this 2013 Premier Cup match between the BORP Bay Earthquakes and Southern California Vaqueros. SoCal currently up 1-0 on BORP. A deflected goal by Kyle Ornelas in the first half puts them up on top. Got a slight lineup change for the Earthquakes now into the game. Number 16, Margaret Melee, sitting out Kendra Scalia. Madigan now with the ball. Ornelas down the floor with Johnson, out of bounds. Southern California ball. Thank you for coming back. Our last match of the afternoon, day 2 of this tournament. Lots of great competition this weekend. Tomorrow will be Championship Sunday. Who will win? We will find out then. Ornelas now. Ballas. Johnson down the floor. Ballas trying to deflect the ball off Johnson. He does. Ornelas almost there. Got the ball. Will he save it? Everett's right there, but they can't quite get to it. Out of bounds. BORP Bay Earthquakes ball. Melee now, Brandon Johnson, Kyle Ornelas playing defense. Down the floor, Ornelas trying to pass the ball back to Everett, sitting there waiting for the pass, yelling for the ball, and there it is. Melee though tries to cut it off, she does, but Everett's right there to bring it back down the other way. Everett now getting behind Johnson. Madigan swings the ball out. We're going to get a 3 in the box violation. Madigan, Johnson, McLeod all in the box. And for those of you unfamiliar with the 3 in the box rule, it says that 3 players from the same team cannot be in the defensive goal area together. That's a foul, an indirect free kick now for the SoCal Vaqueros, trying to extend their lead. About 2 minutes gone by here in the second half. Ballas now, one of the most powerful kickers in the Premier Cup. Going to try to blast this ball around and see if they can't get a ricochet into the goal. Keeper Latif McLeod on one post. Brandon Johnson on the other. Ornelas screening out. Ballas now. As they set up the play. Ballas whips the ball in. McLeod, nice save, but there's a deflection. Almost goes in. Just trickles wide. Everett not able to get there fast enough. Goes out of bounds. And the threat is over as BORP now tries to get the goal kick to send it back down the other way. Very, very dangerous play there. Steve Everett just a little late on that ball as it trickles wide of the post. Johnson now, Melee. Oh, and Ornelas is right there to just snipe that pass out. That's going to bounce off his guard. Goal kick, BORP once again. BORP not having any luck getting the ball out of their defensive end. SoCal trying to tighten the vice grip just a little bit and extend their lead. Ornelas just jumping that ball once again, but misses that time. Madigan now down the floor the other way. Everett trying to defend, but Madigan can't control the ball. Costly turnover is going out of bounds. SoCal gets the ball back to try to bring it back into the BORP half of the court. Bill Ballas now winds up. Sends the ball down. Ornelas, is he going to get it? No, he's not. Out of bounds. That ball touched absolutely no one. Margaret Melee now, sending the ball in. Johnson misses the ball. Ballas chips it down the floor. Melee back, it bounces around, ricochets, going out of bounds. Referees say BORP ball. With the more powerful chairs out here now, it's very difficult for the referees as the ball bounces around and ricochets a lot out there. There's Everett defending against Johnson. Johnson swings the ball out. Melee right there. Ballas, however, overpowers her. Back down the floor they go as Ballas just takes control and drives the ball down the floor. Johnson now stops him. There's a little deflection right there, out of bounds. Southern California back on the BORP end of the court, threatening once again. Just under 5 minutes gone here in the second half. Southern California, if you're just joining us, up 1-0 on the BORP Bay Earthquakes. A battle of California teams. Ballas, Everett, Johnson misses that one. Everett now trying to bring the ball back around, looking to pass the ball out. Johnson denying. Everett now trying to get around him.
Right behind you, Steve.
Will Everett be able to get the pass off? Ballas calling for the ball. Everett now just powering his way down the floor, trying to gain position, and that one's going to trickle out of bounds. Referee says BORP ball, out on Everett. Looks like Johnson has a slight equipment problem there. Referee Doug Wolf helping him out. Now we're back in. And there's the inbound kick. Johnson now down the floor. Everett right there once again. Very good defender, Steve Everett is. And he drives Johnson back the other way towards the goal. McLeod right there to defend. Everett looking to pass the ball out. He gets the ball out. Ornelas sends it back down. Oh, just wide of the post. That one going to go out of bounds for a goal kick. Very dangerous play for BORP. Nice shot by Ornelas, and you really sometimes just have to take a shot and see where it goes. Madigan now with the ball. Sneaks by, goes out of bounds. Madigan not able to control. Southern California really dominating possession here in this game. I mean, BORP has had their chances on breakaways, but if you kind of see the flow of the match, Southern California has really dominated possession and has generated a lot of scoring chances here. Ballas now going to try to send the ball down the floor, eyeing the defense, and there it goes right into Melee. Ballas now back on the ball. Madigan, Ballas, fight for the ball. It ricochets out of bounds. BORP ball. This may be the start of something offensively for BORP, as they've been on their heels this entire match, really. Melee now, setting up. Want to be careful not to tap the ball because it's live once you do. And there's the hit. In it goes. Everett now sends the ball back. Melee sends the ball back down. It's bouncing around. Ballas, Everett, 2-on-1. Way too close together once again. As I mentioned before, you're going to see that sometimes, especially for some of these teams. When they don't talk out on the floor, it's very, very difficult to know where your teammates are sometimes. And 2-on-1 fouls will happen. BORP, now the threatening team here, looking to equalize here. Melee now looking to send the pass in. Madigan jockeying for position in the goal box. Brendan Johnson at the top. And the ball goes in. Everett's right there. That was right to him. Johnson now. Madigan very close together. That's a 2-on-1. We got to watch out the spacing on that. Johnson in the box. Almost in the box. Madigan in the box. Not getting enough spacing there. Everett now splits the defense. Johnson sends it back the other way. Ballas with a 180 spin kick. Goes way wide of the post, however, out of bounds. And ladies and gentlemen, I told you earlier, Bill Ballas, one of the strongest kickers in the Premier Cup, not afraid to shoot from anywhere on the floor. Fortunately for BORP, that one went way wide. However, the threat is always there when Ballas is on the floor. Ornelas, Madigan. Ornelas swings the ball down. Ballas is right there. but Johnson very nicely with his back wheel chips the ball away. Another 2-on-1, this time on Southern California. Everett and Ballas too close together. BORP going to send it down the other way. Now we're going to get a substitution in the game. Back in now for the BORP Bay Earthquakes. Number 21, Kendra Scalia. Scalia sends the ball in. Ballas right there. Scalia sends it down. Ballas gets the ball past her. Rolls down the floor. Ornelas giving chase. Not going to get there in time. That one way too far out in front. Out of bounds. BORP ball. Johnson now. Ornelas very aggressive down there. Ballas now. Oh, slams right into Madigan. My goodness. When there are 8 power chairs out here, sometimes things get a little tight on the court, and if you're not paying attention, you will definitely hit someone. And Bill Ballas, being as big as he is a hefty shot to take. BORP now going to take the ball, as that was certainly a contact foul. Scalia. Johnson. That one's going to roll free. Didn't touch anyone, it looked like. Goal kick. BORP Bay Earthquakes. The possession in this half seeming to even out a little bit, as both teams are kind of trying to find a rhythm here. Referee stopping the play. Looks like BORP may have been a little too close. They're going to do this one over again. On any kind of set ball play, players must be at least 5 meters or roughly 15 feet away from the ball. Everett now sends it down. And that's almost a 2-on-1, but the referee decides to let it go. Ornelas now sends it down to Ballas, who has to wait for the ball, but there he goes down the floor. Ornelas, Ballas very close together. And there's a deflection out of bounds. Southern California with the ball, threatening here just past the midway point here in the second half. Southern California Vaqueros up 1-0 on the BORP Bay Earthquakes, looking to add another. Referee Doug Wolf setting the post back on the line there, making sure once again that the goalposts are at the proper width. Ballas now going to try to use his power to get the ball across the box. Who will take it, Ornelas or Everett? We're about to find out. Ornelas thought about going for the 180, didn't get there. Now Johnson breaks down the other way. That ball's going to roll down the floor. Will anybody catch it before it goes out of bounds? Ornelas is there, not going to get to it on time. BORP going to bring Southern California going to bring the ball back down the other way. Madigan trying to creep up and intercept the pass from Ornelas as it comes in. Everett now gets around Madigan, no problem. Scalia goes off her guard, out of bounds. Southern California slowly bringing the ball back up the floor, trying to extend their lead. 1 goal lead is not very much. Anything can happen here in these next 8 minutes. Johnson now trying to get around Everett, passes to Madigan. Madigan with the back wheel redirects the ball. Everett now. Scalia keeping it in, waiting for the right time to pass, but Everett just takes it right away from her. Johnson tries to take the ball, it goes out of bounds. Ornelas now surveying the defense, winds up, kicks the ball, it gets through. Oh, Scalia's right there though to get it out. Ornelas though pushing it back in, and there goes Everett right there, and there's a shot, it's going to go in! Steve Everett with a low angle cross court goal, very nicely done. Just slid that one right through the wide end goalpost. Southern California now extending their lead, 2-0 the score. Just under 8 minutes left in this match. Johnson now takes the kickoff. Everett. Johnson. It ricochets around. Scalia has the ball. Everett. Scalia battling it out. Everett trying to get the ball. Scalia interfered. Correction. There was going to be a contact foul on Everett. Scalia now looking for Brandon Johnson to send the ball across the box or through the defense. Let's see what happens. Over to Madigan. Madigan shoots. That one's going to deflect off of Taylor Kawada's wheel. Out of bounds. Corner kick. BORP. They need to get one back here. We're getting down to the final minutes here. It's almost desperation time for BORP. Down 2 goals. Johnson now sending the ball in. Sends it through. Scalia lets it go past her. Oh, almost. John Madigan just a little bit late on the ball. Ball skips wide of the post. You can see the frustration on his face. He knows that BORP need to get a goal right now. Just under 5 minutes left here in the game. Not including extra time, but there haven't been very many stoppages in play, so you have to imagine at this point there won't be much added time at the end of the game. So it's getting down to it for the BORP Bay Earthquakes. Ballas now waiting for the ball to get to him. Scalia chips the ball, goes out of bounds. Ballas now setting up once again. Southern California looking to add a little bit of cushion to their 2-0 lead. Ballas sends it down. It doesn't touch anybody. Scalia sends it back out. Ballas is right there to take the pass. And we're going to get a foul on Ballas for running into John Madigan there. Ballas, in addition to having a lot of power, also has a very, very long chair, so he was trying to inch the ball forward, but couldn't quite get there. We're going to have a substitution into the game now. Into the game for John Madigan is number 2, Brian Larson, for the BORP Bay Earthquakes. Looks like we're going to switch here. Margaret Mailer looks like she's coming in to play a goal. Latif McLeod going to be coming out. They're waiting for the referee's signal. McLeod now out of the game. Melee in the goal. Johnson now starts at play once again. Scalia mishits that ball, but yet she's still able to get it past Ballas. It's a 2-on-1. Referee calls the advantage, lets it go. Scalia, oh, and she almost gets it through. Great save by Kawada. Oh, and it sneaks through at the very end. Kawada very nice on the save, but he couldn't quite hold it out long enough. Scalia forced her way through and imposed her will. The ball crosses the goal line. BORP Bay Earthquakes cut the lead in half. Now 2-1. Just under 3 minutes left in the game, folks. We're going to see an exciting finish here as BORP now trying to get the equalizer. A 2-goal lead, still not very comfortable. 1-goal lead, very uncomfortable. SoCal now going to try to get that one back. Out of bounds. BORP now with the ball. About 2.5 minutes left in the game, plus any added time. We've had a couple substitutions, so we may see about 2 minutes here. Johnson very, very deep in his own end. Sends it out to Scalia. Ornelas there, chips the ball away. Larson's right there on Ballas. Ornelas, oh, there's a 2-on-1 call right there. Ballas and Ornelas. The thread is gone once again. The clock is ticking down. Now we're under 2 minutes left here in the match. BORP down by 1. Can they come back? Larson, Johnson, both setting up, switching sides, trying to get into position and allow the ball to get down the floor. Scalia now with the kick. Johnson tips it. Larson passes it back. Johnson down the floor it goes. Everett's right there to stop that though. Scalia right there pushes the ball down the floor. Everett, Larson passes the ball back. Johnson now down the floor it goes. Larson with the ball, looking to swing it back up. Johnson right there on the ball. Scalia cuts off the progress of Steve Everett. Everett passes the ball. Ball swings the ball wildly down the floor. It goes out of bounds. BORP ball once again. We're entering the final minute here of the match. BORP down 1 goal. Scored 2-1. Johnson now setting up once again. It's crunch time for BORP. Can they get the equalizer late in the match? Larson right there. Goes off the back of his chair. 2-on-1 on BORP. Larson and Scalia too close together. Although it really could have gone either way. Referee decides that it's on BORP first. Ballas now trying to seal the win for his team here. Can they get one more goal? We're in extra time now here. Southern California 2. BORP Bay Earthquakes 1. The ball rolls in freely. Oh, Everett chips it. Oh, and there's a shot by Ornelas who misses it. Everett now going in. That's a 2-on-1. Ornelas not able to get out of there in time before Everett comes down for the shot. Very, very dangerous moment. Southern California almost put another one up on the board, but great defense by Margaret Melee down there at the goal line. Scalia now setting up. Johnson. Ballas picks it off. And there's the final whistle. Very, very intense action here at the end of the game. However, the Southern California Vaqueros come away with a victory, 2-1. Very exciting match. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us today. That was our final match of the day. On behalf of PowerSoccerShop.com and Midwest Power Soccer Association, I'm Tony Jackson with the 2013 Premier and Founders Cup. We'll be back tomorrow for Championship Sunday.